Hands down, the best show of 2024 is Dark Matter. Let me tell you why. What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for coming back today. Thank you so much for taking time out of day. Just click on today's video. Man, Apple TV just keeps putting out these banger of shows. Like, Apple TV quickly became my favorite streaming service over Amazon Prime, over Netflix, over all these other big streaming services. Apple TV just has me hooked. I mean, if you've never checked out Apple TV, there are so many great series on Apple TV. You have Ted Lasso, one of my favorite shows. You have Severance, which is highly underrated. You have the show that's on right now, Presumed Innocence, with Jake Gyllenhaal, which is absolutely phenomenal. But the reason for my video today is Dark Matter. Now, Dark Matter is one of those shows that will absolutely blow your mind.
A man of science. He is married to the woman of his dreams, and they have a good life. Until one night, he doesn't make it home. When he regains consciousness, everything has changed.
I don't know, it sounds like he's crazy.
I'm not crazy.
You're different, Jason.
He stole me from my world, and he brought me to his world. What if the person that abducted me is me?
Hey, fam.
You want to know what your brain is like whenever you watch Dark Matter?
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Now, this is going to be a no spoilers review because I don't want to ruin anything for you. Now, this was based off a book by Blake Crouch by the same name, Dark Matter. First off, the cast, phenomenal. You have Joel Edgerton playing the role of Jason. You have Jennifer Connelly playing the role of Daniela. Even the supporting cast is absolutely great. You have Jimmy Simpson, which is a highly underrated supporting actor. You have Alice Braga, which I didn't know a lot about her until I watched the show, but she is absolutely phenomenal. Now, even though the last two are not main characters in the show, I found myself getting caught up in their storyline. Now, I'm going to make this... It's a very complicated show, okay? I want to make this hopefully the least amount of complicated as I possibly can without giving details away. Now, Joel Edgerton plays Jason in the show, and he's this guy that's kind of just in a rut in his life. He didn't end up how he thought he was going to. He chose a different path. He became a father and a husband. His best friend, played by Jimmy Simpson, gets a big promotion at work and decides to go out and party. And he wants him to come along. So as he's leaving this bar, Jason gets kidnapped and thrown inside this box and transported to a different dimension, a parallel dimension. And here's the most messed up part. He is kidnapped and thrown in this box by himself from a parallel universe. Now, of course, hang with me here because I'm going to try to make this make sense. Because on one side you have good Jason. On the other side you have bad Jason. Okay, so basically the way the show works is that each time in your life when you have come to a crossroads and have to make a decision, you decide to go this way. Well, you just created a parallel universe on this side of a whole different outcome of things to happen. Now, Jason is extremely smart. He had hopes and dreams of being this research developer and all these ideas he had coming to mind. Daniela, his girlfriend at the time, played by Jennifer Connelly, ends up pregnant. So he decides to make a choice of, I'm going to give all that up and become a husband and father to you and our kid. So what he did there is create a parallel universe where he had to make a decision of, I need to go down this path. And then you have the other path of what if, what could have happened. Now, when he gets kidnapped, he's kidnapped from the Jason from the other parallel universe, where he did go on to be a research developer. He left Daniela. He never ended up doing that. And he developed this box that lets you travel through parallel dimensions. I told you, it gets super complicated, but it's really, really good. Now, bad Jason is this research developer, has invented all this stuff, and now he's decided, you know what? I kind of regret not staying with Daniela, But I know that the other guy, the good Jason, stayed with Daniela. I'm just going to go take his life. I'm just going to head over and take his life. So that's what he does. He goes over to good Jason's parallel universe, kidnaps him, puts him in his world, and then he takes a spot in good Jason's world. And bad Jason's making up for lost time because he is whining and dining and romancing Jennifer Connelly like you've never seen before. And you know what's funny about this is me and my wife had this conversation of, is this cheating? Because that's not the Jason she married, but it technically is Jason. She came to the conclusion that if somehow, some way, I get caught up in a parallel universe and I'm traveling through dimensions and somehow I find her, it is okay for me to sleep with her. So, we have solved that mystery. It is okay for me to sleep with my wife in a parallel universe. So now that good Jason is trapped in bad Jason's world, he must now try to figure out how to get back to his dimension. Now quickly they realize that good Jason is not their bad Jason in their world. So they want to study him because they realize what has happened. So good Jason decides to go on the run and try to make it back to his parallel universe that bad Jason is now controlling. Now remember, what I said is whenever the parallel universe split, whenever he had to make a decision, he'd already thought of this idea of creating this box. He just never got around to doing it. So he understands how all this works. So basically you climb inside of it. There's these things you shoot in your arm called ampules. And basically it alters your mind to think about where you want to go back in your life. So in this hallway, there is endless possibilities, endless doors of different parallel universes that you have created. You have the show of, he's traveling through different parallel universes trying to find his. And that's what you get caught up in so much. That's why with the side characters like Alice and Jimmy, you end up getting caught up in their storyline because they're a big part of this. They're in each dimension as well. It's like I said, it's definitely one of those shows that messes with your mind because, if you think back to each time you had to make a decision, how many different parallel universes that you've created. Me and my wife quickly found ourselves wrapped up in this show where we, were very caring and very invested in what happened to these side characters along the way. And lucky for you, right now, all 9 episodes are out on Apple TV, so you don't have to wait. Me and my wife did it the old-fashioned way, where we waited each week to watch each episode. And it's one of those shows that once the episode ends, it's on such a huge cliffhanger that you want to start the next episode, but you have to wait till next week. But luckily for you guys, if you go check this out now, all episodes are out, so you can just binge watch it. Easily, you can watch this in a day or two, because there's only 9 episodes. Now, I gotta say, this show is great, but it is far from being perfect, but I just love the concept of how all this worked. Now, as great as this show is, there's a few things that I was just like, 2 things that stood out to me the most is that it's a 9-episode series. They probably could have cut it down to about 7 episodes. There's some parts in the middle that is, you can tell, like little filler stuff that they probably could have cut it down to 7 episodes instead of 9. But it's still all okay because you still find yourself getting invested in it. It's just some of the episodes, it's kind of a slow burn. Now, as you're watching the show, I pretty much guessed the ending around episode 7. I kind of figured out how this is going to end. Now, I have not read the book, but everyone online says that, this is how the book ends, and that's how they end the show. For me, the ending was great. It ended how it should have ended. But the events leading up to the ending were just kind of like, why? So believe me when I say this, that if you want a show that's going to basically open up your brain and make you think of all the what-if moments you've done along your life, definitely watch this show, because it makes you think. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, it's probably one of my favorite shows of 2024 so far. But like I said, do yourself a favor, check out Apple TV, go on there and binge watch these shows. They're terrific shows. You won't be disappointed. I think, without a doubt, if you watch the shows, that Apple TV will quickly be one of your favorite streaming services as well. But guys, if you have checked out Dark Matter, just drop me a comment down below if you loved it or hated it. Don't give any details away. Don't be that guy in the comments. But guys, on your way out, if you did enjoy today's video, give me a thumbs up on the video. If you're not a subscriber, you can quickly become one. It's easy, it's free. There's no one, I promise you, that will be more grateful to have you as a subscriber than me. And then, if you do want to stay up to date with the content, just hit that little bell notification and select all, and then YouTube will notify you anytime that I upload a new video. I think there's someone at my door. 1 second. Okay, guys, listen to me very, very carefully. The Brandon that you're talking to right now is not me. Okay, I have been kidnapped and taken into. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hey, if you want to watch another video, click here. If you want to subscribe, click over here. As always, thanks for watching, guys.